What's up, everybody? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. For this Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021, I am your host, Russ Williams. I'm so glad you could be here today. I'm quite aware, ladies and gentlemen, you could have been anywhere in this world today. I know you could have been anywhere in this world today, but you decided to be here with me. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that immensely. And more importantly, I appreciate you. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Transition Tuesdays on this Election Day Tuesday, the first Tuesday of the month of November. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everyone. Come all, come one, come all. Oh, man. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we have an action-packed show for you here today. And before we're going to talk about that, I want to talk about couple of things, and I want to put back on my glasses, and I'll make sure everybody knows that Transition Tuesdays is powered by Native Of. Now, Native Of is the t-shirt company that combines the creativity of black pop culture with the resilient ability black people have to occupy a space and make it their own. So we are powered by Native Of here, ladies and gentlemen, here today. Ladies and gentlemen, again, action-packed show on this busy day, on election day, throughout the country. We're going to go over that. But before I do that, I always like to state my intentions for the show. And my intentions are quite simple. My intentions is to give you the opportunity to laugh, smile, think, and engage in honest conversations about your transitions. Okay? So that's what we do here on Transition Tuesdays. That's what we do here on Transition Tuesdays. And I'm going to be checking in to see if people are checking in on the show. And I'll be giving everybody shout outs as you come on. So look out for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about some things. Let's transition to some things. And let's talk about politics. All right, we're going to transition to politics. And I know some of you are cringing, like, oh, no, not politics. Oh, no politics. No. Hey, we got to talk about politics, especially on this election day here on November 2nd. We got to talk about that because politics is always interwoven to our fabrics or how we live. So we got to discuss it. We must discuss it. So there are a series of political races that could hold clues on what's to come in the 2022 midterms. That's right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. So these elections are big tonight. Now you got key mayoral races in Atlanta, Boston, Buffalo, Minneapolis, Minnesota, here in New York City, where you have Eric Adams. He should win this in a landslide. He's going against Curtis Sliwa, who was the founder of the Guardian Angels. If you people around the country aren't familiar with the Guardian Angels, Curtis Sliwa started this agency when I think he was 21 years old, in which you had. It was kind of like a neighborhood watch. Was like police, but minus the arsenal, not minus the guns or the batons or what have you. But the Guardian Angels, Curtis Lewa and his people had the red berets and had the white and red T-shirts. Guardian Angels protecting the citizens of New York. So he is going up against Eric Adams for the mayoral race here in New York City. So Eric Adams should win that one, no problem. So. And then he'll be, I believe, the second black mayor to ever be named mayor in New York City. The first was the late great David Dinkins. So you have that going on. And also what's at stake as well is Virginia is going to elect a woman of color for the first time as lieutenant governor. So you're going to have a historic event go down today with that. Then you got Minneapolis voters will decide whether to replace the city's police department with a public safety department. Very similar to, I don't like to use the word because it's kind of a nonsense word, but defund the police type of deal. But I think they try to do it with different policies and have more a public safety department patrolling it. So they're voting for that in Minneapolis. Also, the voters will decide on key ballot measures related to issues including voters' policies, election reform, and some proposals in response to COVID restrictions. So all of these are on the ballot. All of these are on the ballot with the governor's race and the different policies. But then you also have the governor races. And two big ones, well, really one huge one that we're going to go over, but one big one is here in New Jersey. And you have Democrat Phil Murphy. He's taking on Jack Ciccarelli. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's probably not going to matter because Phil Murphy should win that one in a landslide. So we probably don't have to remember that young man's name anytime soon because Phil Murphy should win that in New Jersey. But here's the big one. In Virginia, you got Democrat Terry McAuliffe. He's in a tight race. It is a neck-and-neck race. Every vote matters. Every vote matters. He's in a tight race with Republican Glenn Youngkin, all right? And when I say every vote matters, I mean that because hey, look, I voted today. Here's my sticker here. I voted. Hear me? I did. I voted today. So every vote matters. I truly believe that. And in the state of Virginia, you have a race that is neck and neck, going neck and neck, man, blow for blow. It is getting crazy. So we're going to see. We're going to see what the situation is on that. You have Glenn Youngkin, who kind of subscribes to the former president, number 45. As you know, I don't still even mention that guy's name, but it's the number 45. He was the president. He's a former president, one-term president of the United States, and some would say he divided these states, but that's another story for another time. But Youngkin has like the same types of principles, and whereas you have McAuliffe, he's the incumbent. You know, he was the governor beforehand, but he's getting a tight race here for governor in Virginia. I know Youngkin spent millions of dollars to be the candidate and potential candidate, and I heard it's neck and neck. And I heard something also before I came on. I heard what they're saying is because Youngkin has hitched his barrel to number 45, the former president, and they're saying there's rumors saying like if Youngkin wins in Virginia, they said the next day that this number 45 is going to declare himself, he's going to run in 2024. They're saying if he gets the win, if Youngkin gets the win today, they're saying that. So, again, a lot is at stake. And if that was to happen, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, shame on the Senate who had an opportunity to close the door on this guy with the resurrection. And if they would have sealed the deal and found him guilty of that insurrection, resurrection, insurrection, if they would have found him guilty of that and put him in trial, do that, he wouldn't have had the opportunity to run in 2024. They just would have put the clamps on that. He wouldn't have been allowed to run. But since they didn't do that, and if Youngkin wins, you don't be surprised if you see number 45, going for president of the United States in 2024. Because you got to keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, is politics, a lot of times people say politics is a pile of tricks. Heard that from the great James Ntume. He mentioned that. And politics is drama. People like the drama of it all. People will probably relish the fact that if Youngkin wins and then this guy the next day decides he wants to, run for president in 2024. People like drama. Politics is all about the drama. Keep you on the edge of your seat. That's what's going on here this evening as well. People are going to be watching the TVs. I'm probably going to be watching it, caught up with it, just like everybody else. But people are going to be doing that to see the high drama that's going on in Virginia and then in other states as well. So people like the drama, and policy and politics is full of drama. Let's face it. Yeah, so, it's one of those deals. Politics is nothing but drama. And again, this will make a great deal of drama going forward. So we got Felicia checking in from Rockville, Maryland. What's going on, Felicia? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. We got my man, the voice of the Jaspers, man, from the Pick and Pop podcast. This guy's doing it. He's officiating weddings. This guy does it all. He's on ESPN. I see him doing his thing, man. Procrastinate, he's just saying his thing and he's doing his thing. I mean, man, the voice of the Jaspers. We got Uncle Smooth, got Chris Williams on the check. And what's going on, Smooth? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friend. As Chris says, not me. Not you what, Chris? Expand on that for me, sir. Not you what? You gotta really help me out and expand on that, Smoothie, as we go on. But yeah, politics, man, I tell you, it's politics, a lot of drama involved with it as well. But and again, I'll probably be glued to my seat watching it tonight because again, it's drama filled, and a lot is at stake, especially in Virginia. A lot is at stake, and I think the voters of Virginia, they got to really look themselves in the mirror and think about this. Hey, look, if Youngkin wins, do you want to go back to the days of number 45 and how he ruled this land with an iron fist and the different policies and everything like that? Do we want to go backwards or do we want to progress? Do we want to go forward? Do we want to do that? So I think I know the voter in Virginia, it's a lot of power. Okay, I'm talking to the voters of Virginia. I'm gonna take my glasses off. The voters of Virginia. Let me talk to you, all right? Because you hold a lot of this in your hands for us. I know you voted. I know it's a lot of early voting. I know early voting went well, I think, for the Democrat, McAuliffe. But again, the citizens of Virginia, you hold this in the palm of your hand right here. And that's a lot of power. That is so much power. So Chris says he won't be on the edge of his seat. He says, not me. Oh, you ain't going to be on the edge of the seat for these elections. Okay. So Chris says it's all fixed, Horse. I don't know about that. But let's not hope that's the case. Hope that's not the case. But again, I always talk about the drama of it all. The drama. This is drama filled. I mean? People want to wake up and see now, if Youngkin wins, will number 45, will he declare himself a candidate for 2024? That's the drama of it. Okay? People want to see that, for movies, it's like a movie type of deal for this guy and for other people involved especially in the Republican Party. But again, I ask the citizens of Virginia, do we want to progress or do we want to take 2 steps back or 1 step forward? What do we want to do here, guys? And you, my citizens of Virginia, part of the DMV, all right? You people, Virginians, I guess, if that's such a word, but people of Virginia, very powerful. You all can decide how the shift of the political landscape can turn in the coming months with the midterms, and then again, if depending on who's going to run in 2024. I don't want to wake up to number 45, seeing Youngkin's wins and there's like a little mini me of him, and he thinks, oh, I got the momentum now, so yeah, I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring for 2024. I don't want to see that. That to me is a nightmare. All right, that's not drama. That is a nightmare. I don't want that smoke, nor does anybody else in this country want that smoke. So that's something we got to really look at. But I recommend to everybody, if you're not into politics, I understand that, but it's important to get involved with the likes of politics so you can see what's going on, especially locally, what's going on locally where you live. And, the big ticket items as well, in terms of the vote. But it's always good to be engaged in the political process so you can know what's going on so you won't be sidetracked. And, and like a lot of the voting, like when I voted today, you had to vote for voter reform and everything like that, too. So, when you're filling out the ballots, make sure you fill out the front and back of it, too. Okay, very important. Answer those questions because those questions is going to be very important for our future of our country. And especially who we bring in the future of our country as well. So very, very important engagement going on there. Want to see if anybody else comment on that. But no. So again, like most, I'm going to be checking out the results today and seeing what's going on. But we got to follow. We got to stay involved with that process in Virginia. Because Virginia, that doesn't just involve Virginians. Well, people of Virginia. I don't think Virginians is a word, but I'm making up words here tonight. But, it really has to do with our country a great deal and what we're going to do going forward before the midterms and again for 2024. 2024, which isn't too far away. Midterms is next year. It's going to be 2022 in a matter of minutes. Soon as we get past Halloween, we're right into 2022 just about. So let's stay diligent. Let's see what's going on. Keep your eyes open. Stay focused, especially on these elections here tonight. So I recommend you go check those out. Make sure you do that. Very, very important. Very, very important. So let's do this also, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot to do this last week, but I have more time to do it this week. And I wanted to talk about the NBA 75th anniversary team. 75th anniversary team. So, and I want to keep this in mind, and I'm going to read off a couple of names and everything, but want to let you know about this. So, with this 75 player team, 25 years ago, the NBA created a top 50 list. Okay, it was the top 50 list of the greatest NBA players to ever lace them up. And how that vote was taking place was you had they chose 10 point guards, 10 shooting guards, 10 small forwards, 10 power forwards, and 10 centers. So that made up the 50 greatest players. So now there is a list of 75. So this is the 75th year of the NBA. So there is a 75th team anniversary that's going on here. And 25 new names have been selected to this 75th anniversary team. And I'm going to read these. And they're not ranked in this order here, but I'm going to read the new names, and I'm going to go over a couple, and we're going to have some conversation on that, okay? So let's make sure no one's commenting. Oh, we got Cliff checking in on the comments here. Hey, what's going on, Cliff? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friend. So you came in the right time, Cliff, because we're talking about the NBA's 75th anniversary team. So what I'm about to read, ladies and gentlemen, again, is the 25 new names that's added to the 75th anniversary team. And also keep in mind, those people who made the 50 greatest players, they were added to the 75 team. Hence, 25 more names have been added. And here are these names. You have Ray Allen. Okay, I agree with that one. You got the Greek freak, Giannis. He's on there. You got Carmelo Anthony. He's on there. You got the late, great, man, one of the best to ever do. You got Kobe Bryant on there. Yes, I agree with that. You got Steph Curry. Now, Steph Curry, I agree with that. Here's a guy who has revolutionized the game the way it's played now. So, with that, you got to be immortalized like that. You got Anthony Davis on that team. A little question mark there. I don't know. We probably need to have a little bit more body of work here. I mean, he got that one title. I mean, he's been injured a lot, though. So, and I'm going to go over injuries in a sec. So, you got Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan made the team as well. Actually, one of the greatest power forwards to ever play the game. Probably the greatest power forward to ever play in the NBA to pick up a basketball. You got KD, Kevin Durant. Obviously, yep, that's a no-brainer. You got Kevin Garnett, who just went in the Hall of Fame. I agree with that. Now, here's one. James Harden. Again, just like Anthony Davis, little body of work. A little body. I got to see more of a body of work from Mr. James Harden, but he made it. He's in there. You got the answer, Allen Iverson. He deserved to be in there, no doubt about it. Here's a guy who changed the game, man. Who changed the game in which how it was played. So he definitely deserves to be in it. You got my man LeBron James. Well, I don't know, I'm not gonna say my man, but I gotta respect that man. Okay, one of the best, greatest players to ever play. He might have an opportunity to break Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's scoring record. So obviously he's in it. You got Jason Kidd, as they used to say when he played for the New Jersey Nets. Jason Kidd is down on this list here. You got Kawhi Leonard. I'm not disputing that. Here's a guy he won 2 championships from 2 different teams and MVP in both teams in the finals. Can't beat that. Man, he's on it. Now here's one, and this is a player who I absolutely love. He's one of my favorite players of today. But maybe we probably need to see a little bit more body of work. But we'll see. Damian Lillard, Dame Dollar, who not only is a great baller, but he is the best rapper in the league, bar none. Check out his tracks, man. Go to SoundCloud or however you got to do to listen to his music. Yo, this guy got bars and he can play too. Now you got Bob McAdoo, as they used to do. The Zinkoff used to say in Philly, 2 for McAdoo. He is on this team, and he wasn't, a little tidbit. He wasn't on this. He wasn't on the top 50 at the time, but he makes the 75. So Chris says AD shouldn't be on there. I agree with you, Smoothie. Yup, Anthony Davis should not be on there. I agree wholeheartedly. And we're gonna talk about some things with that, with Anthony Davis, some other people too, about who's on the list and what have you, or who shouldn't be on the list. We're gonna talk about that. Next, Reggie Miller. I love Reggie Miller as a player. Should Reggie Miller be in the top 75? I mean, I don't know. That might be for debate. There's no question Reggie Miller is a Hall of Famer. No doubt about that. But 75 greatest players, doesn't have a championship. I don't know about his. I don't think he made first, second, or third teams often. He's an all-star. I mean, if you need a bigger shot, there's no better person to take the shot than Reggie Miller. So you got that as well. But Reggie Miller, I don't know. We'll see. We'll get back to that. Steve Nash. Steve Nash made it. 2 MVPs. That'll get you on the 75 list, I believe. Dirk Nowitzki, okay? Championship. Future Hall of Famer. And MVP in the finals. Got to give it to that man as well. Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. All right, that's a no-brainer. Hakeem gets in there. Not a problem as well. Let's see anybody else commenting. Hold on one second. Chris says, we need more wins from Dame. I agree. We need more wins. We need more body of work. And Reggie belongs. Don't know, Smooth. We gotta stack him up with some other people that's in there. All right? So I don't know about that. We can dive into that one. But Reggie, in my book, I don't think Reggie belongs in there, but he made it. All right? So we got to go with people who made it, but we can have discussion on people who make it, okay? That's what we're going to do here tonight. And then you got Shaquille O'Neal, obvious choice. Okay, you got Robert Parrish, which I thought he should have made the top 50. I think he did. I'm not sure. I have to really take a look at that, but he's on the list. You got Chris Paul. Chris Paul, one of the best point guards ever to touch a rock. He deserves to be on there. Gary Payton, the glove, obviously deserves to be on there. Paul Pierce. People might argue about Paul Pierce about on here, but Paul Pierce is one of the greatest Celtics, besides that big three and Larry Bird, more importantly, who, he scored more points. So that's why he's on here for doing that for the Celtics. Then you got Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman obviously needs to be on there. I'm surprised he wasn't on that top 50. Well, at the time, maybe, he was just coming into himself. So maybe not the top 50 at that time, but he did make the 75. You got Dwayne Wade from Wade County. He is on there, number 3. And you got Russell Westbrook. I don't know. Should Russell Westbrook going to be on there? I mean, he had that phenomenal year when he won the MVP, triple doubles, the whole 9. Doesn't have a championship. We got to see what the criteria was on that. But he's made the list. You got Dominic Wilkins. Dominic Wilkins made the list. He didn't make the top 50, but he made the top 75 because that was an injustice, in my opinion, him not making the top 50 at that time, but he is in the top 75. And then you got Big Game James Worthy. He is on there. I definitely believe he deserves to be on there. Big Game James. I mean, you got all those Hall of Famers from Magic to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now, James Worthy. Some great players. Michael Cooper. Not saying Michael Cooper was a Hall of Famer, but he was a complimentary player and a great player. Obviously, didn't make the 75, but what I'm saying about James Worthy is he deserved to be on this. He definitely deserved to be on this list here. So, I'm going to go over those like who should be on the team, who should be on this team of the 75 greatest NBA players. So, in my opinion, these are the players that got jerked. They got hoes, they got jerked, they got, I don't know, what have you, whatever you want to call it. They got that treatment, okay? So this is in no particular order, but I want to take each person. So I think Mutombo should have been in there. Here's a guy who was Defensive Player of the Year a number of years. I think maybe 3 or 4 years. Hall of Famer. He got rejected. No, not for you, Mutombo. No. He didn't make it, all right? Then you got Vince Carter. Now, Vince Carter played for 20 years. The high flyer, known for his dunks and scoring. And, he's going to go in there as one of the best players. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. But he didn't get in there. He got jerked a little bit. Bernard King. Now, here's the guy, Bernard King. If you stack him up with certain numbers of people that's already in there, and maybe a lot of times people didn't get a chance to see Bernard King, but Bernard King was a hell of a player. I mean, for the Knicks, and then he gets hurt. He plays for the Washington Bullets. He makes an all-star team. This guy was something else. He starred in the movie Fast Break for you young people. Go check that out. Google that. Fast Break was one of the great basketball movies of all time. But he got snubbed as well. So it is a huge case for him. I think he should have been in the top 50 personally. So he didn't make that, nor did he make the top 75. Then you got Dwight Howard. Now, Dwight Howard is an interesting case because Dwight Howard is a player who, from one stretch, like 8 or 9 years stretch, Dwight Howard is one of the top 3 players in the league. Little goofy, what have you, this and that, but I mean, Defensive Player of the Year, he was scoring the basketball. He took that team, the Orlando Magic team that lost to Kobe and the Magic. I mean, that team, I can't even name you the 5 starters on that team, but I know Dwight Howard was a powerful guy there.